Hi, I'm Dr. Ben Newman. I'm a coronavirus scientist. Let's get to your questions. Next question is from Mary. And hello again, Mary. Yeah, we've had a couple questions. All right, so hi, it's me, Mary from Brian, once again. Yeah, glad you're back. My question is, if you have COVID, will the vaccine still work? It's a good question. And should you be tested before getting the vaccine? Yeah, that's a reasonable question. All right, so if you've already had COVID, what you will have is probably some form of immunity. Now, is it enough to protect you from getting infected again? Depends how long ago it was, depends how much you made, depends how fast it came down. All these things are variable, they change from one person to another, so you can't ever guarantee. These are all things that look really good on a chart plotted out over a whole bunch of time and with an average drawn through a lot of people. But on an individual level, just like you or me, there's no way to really tell unless you do a whole bunch of tests. And yeah, normal people don't have access to all these tests. So yeah, you just have to assume you're probably around the middle of the curve and act accordingly. But assume that you could be, I guess, in the lower end of the curve. Yeah. So in those people, the vaccine serves as what is called a booster. So when you get the vaccine, you get a dose, which actually gets you up to protection in most cases. But then you get a second dose, which is called a booster, which bumps up the amount of protection. And then you got longer to ride down that sled hill until you finally run out of antibodies or whatever it is that keeps you protected. And at that point, you would need to get boosted again. And you can just keep getting boosted forever and ever and ever as far as we know. Yeah. With no particular ill effects or anything like that. So it's not going to do anything bad to you. It's just that a person who's had COVID, their body has basically studied ahead, which is what you want in school and in immunology. And they are just in a better position to make a longer, stronger immune response. Not that it's going to do anything worse to them in terms of side effects or anything, but probably they will get more out of this than anybody else. So good for them, right? I would say, even for like the Johnson and Johnson vaccine, where they say you only have to get it once. Read the paper, the phase 1 and 2 trial. They give it to people once or twice at different intervals, or they'll give them high dose and then low dose, or both high doses or both low doses at different times. They basically tried a whole bunch of different combinations, and they decided that they can get an okay result with one. But what you see if you read the paper is that they actually get a boost if they put in a second vaccine dose. So getting 2 shots is better than one, and getting COVID and then a shot is better than getting just a shot, and COVID and then 2 shots is probably the best protection you can legally get right now. So yeah, I think that is fine, and I wouldn't want anybody who has had COVID to deliberately not get a vaccine and then eventually come down with COVID again. That's not helping anything. And we're now at a point in the US where it's, I think, almost 10% of America has been infected. Something like 25 million out of 329 million. But we know that the actual infected numbers are higher than the numbers that are confirmed. So yeah, it's probably closer to 35, 40 million. Yeah. So, there you go. Yeah. So yeah, vaccines for everybody. By all means, talk to your doctor, and your doctor has information that some guy on YouTube would never have and should never have. And that's how you make your decision. But from a scientific point of view, there is not a good reason to say don't get the vaccine. For anybody. So there we go. Thanks very much. This has been Ask Dr. Ben.